Lee Junho and Yoon-ah's grand Seoul wedding in 2025, a love story that captivated the world. The world of K-pop and K-drama has always thrived on larger-than-life stories, glittering stages, breathtaking romances, and narratives that feel almost scripted for the screen. Yet every once in a while, a real-life story emerges that eclipses even the most compelling drama. In 2025, Seoul became the epicenter of such a moment when two of South Korea's brightest stars, Lee Junho and Yoon-ah, exchanged vows in a wedding that will be remembered not just as a celebrity event, but as a cultural milestone. This was not merely a wedding. It was the culmination of a 6-year journey of patience, secrecy, resilience, and quiet devotion, a story millions of fans across Asia had followed with bated breath. As the world watched, the fairy tale love between Junho and Yoon-ah stepped into the spotlight, transcending the boundaries of entertainment and reminding everyone that behind fame, fortune, and relentless scrutiny, true love still exists. The road to I Do, 6 years of love. Junho and Yoon-ah's story began long before the headlines of 2025. Their paths had crossed countless times in the whirlwind world of Hallyu. Junho, once known as the powerhouse performer and vocalist of 2PM, had successfully transitioned into an acclaimed actor, winning hearts through roles in series such as The Red Sleeve and King the Land. His dual success in music and acting made him one of the rare double threats of the Korean entertainment industry. Yoon-ah, meanwhile, was already an icon in her own right. As a member of Girls' Generation, SNSD, she had captured the world's attention with her ethereal beauty, graceful voice, and versatile acting. Her performances in dramas and films, coupled with her enduring presence in K-pop, solidified her as one of Korea's most beloved stars, an artist admired globally for her elegance and resilience. While their professional lives thrived under the blinding lights of fame, their personal connection blossomed quietly. What began as camaraderie during overlapping projects and industry events slowly deepened into something more. By 2019, rumors began swirling among sharp-eyed fans, who noticed subtle hints, matching accessories, Instagram posts with eerily similar backdrops, and the way their eyes lit up whenever they spoke about a special someone. Unlike many celebrity romances that burn brightly and fade quickly under public scrutiny, Junho and Yoon-ah chose a different path. They embraced silence, letting their relationship mature away from cameras. For 6 years, they built a love defined not by grand gestures splashed across tabloids but by small, consistent acts of devotion, sending food trucks to each other's filming sets, attending concerts in disguise, and offering quiet encouragement during career highs and lows. Their restraint only fueled curiosity, but it also laid the foundation for a relationship built on patience, trust, and respect. And so, by the time their wedding was announced, it didn't feel like a sudden revelation. It felt like the natural climax of a love story that had been unfolding all along, like destiny written in plain sight. The power couple of Hallyu. Few couples embody the spirit of Hallyu quite like Junho and Yoon-ah. Individually, they were already giants in the industry. Together, they became a force that represented the global reach of Korean entertainment. Junho's transition from idol to actor mirrored the very evolution of Hallyu itself, K-pop stars crossing into television and film, expanding the influence of Korean culture worldwide. His acting accolades proved that he was not confined to the stage, but capable of commanding hearts on screen with nuance and emotional depth. Yoon-ah, on the other hand, symbolized the timeless allure of K-pop's golden generation. Even after more than a decade in the industry, her relevance never faded. Instead, she evolved into a global ambassador for Korean culture, effortlessly balancing her identity as both an idol and an actress. Together, they were more than just a celebrity couple. They were the embodiment of a cultural wave that had reshaped global entertainment. Their love story became an extension of Hallyu itself, one that resonated not only with Korean fans but with audiences spanning Asia, Europe, and beyond. A love nurtured in silence. What made their romance so captivating wasn't just the glamour, but the quiet resilience with which they nurtured it. In a world where relationships are often dissected in real time by social media, Junho and Yoon-ah's ability to protect their love was nothing short of remarkable. Over the years, fans whispered about their connection, pointing out clues like shared bracelets, concert appearances, or even coincidental travel schedules. But neither Junho nor Yoon-ah ever confirmed or denied the rumors. Instead, they let their bond grow organically, shielded from the pressures of public expectations. Close insiders later revealed that their secretive approach wasn't about hiding shame, it was about safeguarding something precious. Both stars understood the brutal cost of fame, every gesture scrutinized, every word twisted into headlines. For them, silence was not absence, it was protection. That quiet, steady devotion became the very essence of their story. When they finally confirmed their love by walking down the aisle, fans realized they had been witnessing not a fleeting romance, but a relationship strong enough to withstand the test of time. Seoul becomes a stage. The wedding of 2025. When news broke that Junho and Yoon-ah would wed in Seoul in 2025, the city transformed into a living stage for the love story's climax. Fans from around the world flocked to South Korea, treating the wedding as both a personal celebration and a cultural festival. Hotels reported record bookings, streets filled with banners and flowers, and social media buzzed with anticipation. The venue itself, though private, exuded elegance. Surrounded by family, close friends, and a constellation of A-list stars, the atmosphere struck a delicate balance between intimacy and grandeur. As Yoon-ah stepped into the ceremony in a gown of understated elegance, she radiated both serenity and joy. Her smile, timid yet unwavering, captured the hearts of all who witnessed it. Junho, waiting at the altar in a tailored suit, struggled to hide the tears in his eyes. The moment she walked toward him, the years of secrecy, sacrifice, and longing culminated in a silence so powerful it seemed the entire world held its breath. The vows exchanged between them were simple yet profound. They spoke of love, yes, but also of gratitude, for the patience that carried them through storms, for the unwavering belief in one another, and for the promise of a shared future. And then came the kiss. A kiss that wasn't just symbolic, it was an emotional release, the crescendo of a love symphony 6 years in the making. Fans who caught glimpses of it through official photos and live updates were left in tears. For many, it felt like fiction had finally bled into reality, with a love story more moving than any drama they had ever starred in. Public and media reactions. The wedding was instantly declared the wedding of the decade by media outlets worldwide. Headlines compared it to royal weddings, while entertainment critics highlighted its cultural weight. On social media, hashtags like #JunhoYoona-wedding, #wedding of the decade, and #Hallyu love story trended globally within minutes. Fans shared fan-made art, heartfelt letters, and even live reaction videos, turning the wedding into a communal event. Outside the venue, thousands of fans gathered, holding candles and singing softly in unison as the newlyweds made their first appearance. When Junho and Yoon-ah emerged hand in hand, the roar of celebration was deafening. It was not merely admiration, it was collective joy, a sense that their happiness somehow belonged to everyone who had supported them along the way. Even international fans who had never set foot in Seoul felt part of the moment, thanks to live streams, instant updates, and an endless flood of photos. The wedding transcended borders, becoming a global cultural spectacle. Cultural and economic impact. The significance of Junho and Yoon-ah's wedding extended beyond entertainment. Economists noted the staggering financial impact it had on Seoul's hospitality and retail sectors. Hotels were booked to capacity, restaurants overflowed with tourists, and wedding-themed merchandise sold out almost instantly. Cultural analysts, meanwhile, highlighted how the wedding reinforced Hallyu's global dominance. This wasn't just about two stars tying the knot, it was about how their union symbolized the reach and influence of Korean entertainment. In many ways, their wedding became a soft power triumph, showcasing the cultural prestige of South Korea to the world. But perhaps the most profound impact was emotional. For fans who had invested years into supporting Junho and Yoon-ah, their wedding was validation. It proved that love stories in the entertainment industry need not be fragile or fleeting. It gave hope to countless admirers that behind the curated images and relentless schedules, real love could not only survive but flourish. Beyond the spotlight, the meaning of their love. At its core, the love story of Junho and Yoon-ah is about more than celebrity, it's about humanity. Their journey showed that love can thrive even in the harshest environments, where privacy is scarce and expectations are crushing. Junho once admitted during his speech at the wedding, his voice trembling, "Yoon-ah has been my strength, my comfort, and my brightest light. She is the reason I kept going even during the hardest times." Yoon-ah, fighting back tears, responded with equal sincerity, "Junho is not just a star to me. He is the kind, resilient man who has stood by me, who has never let me feel alone. That is the man I chose, and will choose again every day." Those words resonated deeply, reminding everyone that beyond the glitter, these were two people who had found solace in each other. Their story wasn't about fame, It was about love in its purest form. Legacy of a modern fairy tale. As the celebrations wound down and the newlyweds began their next chapter, one thing became clear. Junho and Yoonah's wedding was more than an event. It was a story that would be told for years to come, a modern fairy tale that blurred the line between drama and reality. Their love, nurtured in silence and unveiled with sincerity, became a beacon of hope in an industry often accused of superficiality. It reminded fans and fellow stars alike that true connections are possible, that patience and trust can overcome even the fiercest of storms. For millions, their wedding was not just a spectacle, it was an affirmation that love, real love, still matters. And as the images of Junho and Yoon-ah smiling with eyes full of devotion continue to circulate online, their story will live on as one of the greatest romances in the history of Korean entertainment. Conclusion. In the end, the wedding of Lee Junho and Yoon-ah was not merely a union of two stars. It was the union of two souls, two journeys, and two hearts that had quietly beaten in sync for 6 long years. It was history, culture, and love intertwined. It was Seoul shimmering not just as a city, but as the stage for a love story that will forever inspire millions. And it was proof that sometimes, reality writes the most beautiful fairy tales of all.